Welcome to McAussie.tv here with a very special guest, a long-time friend of mine for about 12 years, actually, Michael P. Mahon, also known as Mike the Can Man. He's a legend in Boston and area. He goes on radio. But the reason for this interview, the third time I've interviewed Mike Mahon, is because in September he attended his 2000th cross-country meeting, mainly high school students, I believe. An incredible achievement. He's been going to an average of 50 plus meets a year for something like 35 years. Incredible write-ups about him. So welcome, Michael Mahon. Congratulations, 2,000 meetings. That is amazing. Tell me about it.
Well, it's coming back home for the first and only meet to the city of Framingham. That's both Framingham High School and Keith Technical High School, which is my school when I graduated 41 years ago. But the most unforgettable moment in my life, coming home at Keith Technical High School at Farm Pond Park, was a brand new course that was designed 9 years ago, which is created by former Framingham High School coach Juan Piera. And coming from my home, from my alma mater against Azabeth Valley, and as a result, as Keith Technical High School beat the Azabeth Valley Aztecs with a score of 1940. But how am I act? This is the most emotional moment in my entire career from my 2000 career cross-country meets. But it's more in this story. And since after that, we're going to have a honor to having a statue, namely after me, and also having the 4 organizations led by NCAA president and former governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Charlie Baker, and followed by USA Track and Field New England and the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, with the connections to the Massachusetts State Track Coaches Association as well.
Wow. So when are they erecting this statue? That's incredible. Great news. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
When are they doing that?
Soon as we possibly can, with it signed with all 4 party delegations when I hoisted the national championship belt, and when also Governor Marlon Healy is going to make the official presentation of the 4 organizations for my 2000 career cross-country meet, the championship bout of a lifetime.
Well, you're an absolute legend. Now, let's go way back to, I believe, in about 1985. I read that you attended your first cross-country meet, which is running, cross-country running. And tell me why you fell in love with this great sport.
As not just a runner, but as a cross-country promoter, dated back on September 7th, 1985, when all comers to meet for the Northeastern University Cross-Country Invitational. It's down at Franklin Park. Only this time it's the golf course as well. When Christine Crowley, who was one for the first high school meet of the season, followed by Bill Crowley and Barry Sturgis, who was also from Northeastern University. He used to be one for Framingham State University as well.
Now, you mainly cover the high school boys and girls, correct? Or do you do college NCAA as well?
All comers, when it's become USA Track and Field New England, when it's competing with USA on the national level, followed by the youth meets like middle schools and high school and track club leagues respectively. And also I cover private school leagues like the Independent School League and the Eastern Independent League. And also I cover or at least about 370 cross-country programs in Massachusetts high school meets statewide in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Now, I was also reading today that between 1912 and 1924, it was an Olympic sport, but normally the cross-country is held in the winter months, so it was tough to be a summer Olympic sport. But in the 5 disciplines of the pentathlon, cross-country running is one of those 5 disciplines. Don't you think it should be an Olympic sport again?
Positive, absolutely. Led by the IAAF president, Sebastian Coe, but he should be adopted for cross-country teams as well. When it's the 10,000 meters, 5,000 meters, 8K, and also even the marathon was the original Olympic sports like athletics. track and field and the marathon, but not for cross country. Did it in 1912, 1920, and 1924. And even at 110 degrees, running in Paris, as the cross country was the last sport, was held in the Olympic Games in Paris in 1924.
Amazing. Now, most of the events are held in your part of the world from September to November. Is that correct?
From the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, yes. But since after Thanksgiving Day, there's two organizations like the Nike Cross Nationals and the Foot Locker Cross Country Championships was both held in New York. Then a week later, in Glendover, Oregon, for the Nike Cross National Championships and the Foot Locker Cross Country National Championships will be held a week after that, and the second week of December on a Saturday as well.
Wow. I was also reading today that there's over 440,000 high school students in North America compete each year. It's the 6th most popular sport for girls and 7th most popular sport for boys. That absolutely blows my mind. Now, your part of the world, is it even more popular in Framingham and Boston, or about normal for the rest of the states?
The most popular cross-country program is in New Jersey. I'd like to just send a message to Sean McCaffrey, who is the head coach from Christian Brothers Academy, dated back in September 8, 1974, when his school by Thomas Heap, he used to be running as his alma mater for Christian Brothers Academy, who started it all with beginning the streak. As a result, they have won 398 cross-country meets, dual, tri, and quad meets at the same time in the last 50 years, believe it or not. Next season, I'm heading for Lincroft, New Jersey. We're going after their 400th cross-country meet as well. It still remains one of the most historic, greatest cross-country programs ever assembled.
Amazing. Now, Let'sRun.com did a brilliant article about your 2000s meet, and you mentioned you want to start traveling to New Jersey. Out of the 2000 meets plus, any special events that stick in your mind?
The governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, Maura Healey, soon to get all 4 organizations' parties, like Charlie Baker, who is now the current of the NCAA president. He was the former governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts now, but instead, the 73rd governor, Maura Healey, will make the official presentation of the 4 championship belts as well.
Wow. Now, in your speech at the 2000th meet, you mentioned your late parents. They died how long ago? I've never really asked you this, mate.
My dad passed away in 2007. That was 16 years ago. My mom passed away. She was mentally ill for years. She passed it in 2012, 11 years ago, back in October.
Wow. And you also mentioned the Duncan family, who took you in and been a great support for you. You want to talk about them?
David Duncan, who also was my guardian, he's known to my advisory for all the years in my life. Duncan is also following his son, Sean Duncan, who is coaches at Lincoln Sudbury girls cross country team, as well as indoor and spring track and field as well. He's been supporting me over the years 100%.
Now, you've got a great mate, Mike Morgan, on the radio there in Boston. Have you got the chance to talk about cross country on your radio shows at all over the years?
Not yet this time, but not one news media has come. But the biggest coming yet is coming to Los Angeles to meet one of the dream job, and that is Oprah Winfrey at the Oprah Winfrey show at her own cable show as well.
Wow, amazing. Name a couple of your favorite runners that you've watched and filmed, and have any of them gone on to greater things in college running as well?
let me give you an example. Is one of the famous names of them all is B. Beaverton in Cambridge, Massachusetts, who is also Robert Reich, who is his son, Adam Reich, who is also was a ISL champion and went on to bigger and better things. He is now a college professor at Columbia University.
Wow, amazing.
But
Now,
it's in other famous names. Get this. You ready for this? There is Melissa Raleigh, and believe it or not, Boston Strong, who was also run from Bellingham High School.
well, I see on Facebook you're loving it with the new cell phone, filming some live events. The kids must absolutely love that coverage that you're doing.
And we're back. It looks like still in the lead for the University of Rhode Island. Still out in front. Also from gate to wire. Amazing. Yes.
Awesome. Now, plans to keep going? I read that you will keep going. What are you up to now? 2020 or something like that?
We are now, it stands at 36 meets with a 39-year total of 2,026 career cross-country meets. I just got back home from Medfield hosting against Norwood High School.
What is the number one and number two things that you like most about covering the cross country?
Travel all over Massachusetts as well, with any different types, different skills, and different levels as well.
And the men run a couple of kilometers or miles longer than the women. Is that correct?
8K is 4.93. That's these 8 kilometers. That's 8,000 meters. If you ran 10,000 meters, it's 6.2. Most of the women's division is 3.1, or at 6K, it's 3.75 miles. If you go back, way back at the new Franklin Park Golf Course since 1992.
I was also reading, and I see your reports on Facebook. You make sure to get the first 5 runners and their times and their names correct. Is that right?
6 and 7 is displacing as a backup. Yes, it is. As both teams with its a dual meet, as a competing for dual, tri, and quad meets, but it's counted as a dual meet during your high school events. Speaking of a high school event, back on September 11th, 2002, as one of the most infamous cross-country meets of all time, as Lincoln-Sudbury beat Newton South beat Concord Carlisle, and Concord Carlisle beat Lincoln-Sudbury. The title is called Too Close to Call.
Wow.
There's no wins, no losses. It's fit to be a tie as a result of this infamous cross-country meet. That was meet number 839 on September 11th, 2002, when all the girls, it's been confused, has been the title Too Close to Call.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, Mike, I hear you have a really good event each year, the banquet for all the cross-country runners. Tell me about that.
The Mahon's cross-country banquet was held usually the second week of December, but due of the MIAA MSTCA event, which has the indoor relays at the holidays. So we switched back from 2023 to the 2024 season. The first week of Sunday of March 2024, we'll have the banquet, each and every single team, whatever who is the whole school of the Mahon's cross-country banquet, plus some very surprised running guest speakers and former runners and coaches from the past for after all these years.
Well, I've seen you up there in your suit doing the presentations on your website and Facebook. Now, what are your plans for next year?
I am looking forward coming towards Lincroft, New Jersey, in for the Monument Meet opening day when season 51 begins, as Christian Brothers Academy has go after 399 and 400 dual meets to making it one of the most historic milestones in national high school cross-country history, going after the big 400.
That's amazing. You're an absolute legend in the cross country field and, of course, in Boston on radio. And I'm sure people see you everywhere riding your bike. Now, tell me, you had your bike stolen recently and someone started up a GoFundMe page and you got a new bike. That's amazing. Who was responsible for that? And tell me about it.
Thanks to Framingham Unveiled, was stolen on August 8th, 2023, but a few months later, but it was an overwhelming response. It's not just individuals, it's the community that it really counts the most. We have raised $2,345 to help raise the money to restore my bike, plus some bike insurance repairs as a result.
Oh, that's amazing. We definitely need your bicycle, hey? Now, I was looking today on MikeTheCanman.com and your picture up there hugging Snooki is still up there in a little video how she was sorry she missed one of your radio shows. So, any latest news on your very good ex-girlfriend friend Snooki? Romance? Not sure, just a friend?
Snooki is a drawing card, but I just cannot wait on tomorrow as those 10 evil reality shows, not Snooki, it's called E's TV hit series, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, called The Greatest Villains of All Time, starring Omarosa and Tiffany New York Pollard. You see all the 8 other cast members competing for $200,000.
Well, you must have impressed Snooki because she sent you that great little video apologizing. Now, let's also talk one of your other favorite sports, the CFL and your Montreal Alouettes. Have surprised me with the new coach, Jason Moss. I didn't think they were going to go as well, but they're playoff bound. What do you think of the chances of your CFL Montreal Alouettes?
There's 1/3 of the 33rd chance to win the Grey Cup. One is the Toronto Argonauts quarterback, Jim Kelly's son. He is really, really good. It says, go Argos. I don't think so, but we knew Jason Moss will find a way to, with the help from Anthony Cavillo, to find a way to beat the Argonauts. It's on its way to the Grey Cup against one of the number 2 teams in the CFL, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, led by Coach Mike O'Shea.
Well, it's actually Jim Kelly's nephew, but I know you know your sports. He's very good, isn't he, Chad Kelly? He's done very well. Now, you on your 2000th meet, you wore a brand new Alouettes jersey that was sent to you from the equipment manager at the Alouettes.
Ronnie James, the former equipment manager, he says, do not wear that signature jersey until you hit your 2000 career cross-country meet. I have a commitment for him, so we're going to wait for the release from 2015 to 2023. But I was suspended in 2020 due of the commitment of COVID-19 for 678 days.
Well, I tweeted at Randy Ambrosi, the CFL commissioner, about your 2000s meet article and how you promote the CFL. So he should interview you, and more TV stations in Canada should interview you about your love of the CFL. Now, one of your other loves, the New England Patriots, going terrible. I was listening to a podcast today and they reckon that Billy Belichick might be on the way out. The fans are not happy. What do you think about that?
There is a 10% chance he could be fired or could be blaming on the quarterback, who has been 2 slumping starts. He's been benched twice in 2 games. Will be the third luck of the charm? Chances are it could be 99%. It could be in the flip-flop ball. Now he's going to face against to deal with of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes, they need that win. Now, you are a man of international sports. You know it all. And you have been following the AFL. And what did you think of the grand final with the Magpies getting up?
in their 44th appearance to the VFL AFL final, winning, tying with the 16th AFL championship game against the Brisbane Lions. What an incredible finish. These two teams going head to head from wire to wire in the AFL Footy's Grand Final.
Yes, it was a great game. Their 16th premiership in the AFL/VFL. Now, anything else, news in Boston that you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Before I like to say this, I'm going to give it a great shout out. The stage name, one of the beautiest of all time. She was a former Penthouse Pet in 2010 and also February 2011. She's on the front cover in Portuguese, but she appeared on Girls Gone Dead. And that means who was a topless girl, but later she was on the Howard Stern show from Miss Howard Stern in 2009. And later she was in 2019. She was Bubba the Lunch Sponge, none other than Janessa Bazil. But she's going to have a new name back to the original birth to Miss Christiana Swole, and will be honored to marry the former alumni as the beautiful Penthouse Pet from out of Tampa, Florida.
Wow. Yes, I've heard you talk about her. Well, great to interview you again. You're an absolute legend in Boston and area, and your Facebook awards as well. So anyone, please follow Michael on Michael P. Mahon on Facebook and Twitter. And congratulations.
Wait a minute, and well, don't forget Instagram.
Oh, yes, on your Instagram as well. Congratulations on your achievement with your 2000s cross-country meet, and good luck in the future. Great to talk to you again, mate.
And the birthplace of cross-country will continue on all the way to the end when I'm going to heaven. Thank you, Mick. It's been an honor to meet you once again.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.